Hey guys, Katy Huller here with KidsCanReadAndWrite.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about the AI trick. Now that falls under the two vowels walking trick, where the first one is a talking and the second just listens politely. So you hear the first one say, hey, remember me, remember me? My name is, what's his name? A. And the second one, the I, is just listening, so you don't make a sound for it. So when you see A and I together, you want to remind your kids that they need to say A, okay? If your kids don't know this trick, they will get tricked. So if you see when they come across AI in words like these, that they're saying like that, that's not going to work. That's going to trick them. When your kids see A and I together, they need to recognize that's two vowels right next to each other. Something weird is going to happen. And most of the time, the first vowel will say its name. The second won't say anything at all. We'll go over exceptions later, or if you need to know what they are now, you can order the Black Belt Reading Program at KidsCanReadAndWrite.com or at KidsCanOnlineAcademy.com. And that program has all the videos you need to learn the tricks you need to know. So your kids can watch the videos with you and learn the tricks. I speak to them in those videos. And then they can use the packets that are included with you. You just help guide them through the packets. You two work through the packets together and you'll watch your child learn to read. Don't do the work for your child, but if you help your child as needed to sound out the words and remember the tricks and do what the packets say to do, then you will watch your child learn to read and write. So it has everything you need. It has words in isolation, sentences to read, sentences to write, words to read, words to write, has fill in the blank so you can check comprehension and vocabulary development, has stories to read once they know enough words and enough tricks to put enough words together to make stories, games, you name it. Has all the things you need to teach your child to read and write. So let's get on with this. So remember, whenever the A and I are used together, you need to remember to say what? Do you remember? A. Remember me, remember me. My name is A. Remember me? This one just listens. Don't say anything for that one. So when A and I are together, what do you say? A. A. Don't make a sound for that one. A. Don't make a sound for that one. Okay? So that's going to be crucial as your child sounds out the words, because if your child goes ra-a-ins, that's not going to work. It sounds like rat-ins. They might say raisins. Who knows what they'll say. But if they go ra-ains, rains, well, that sounds a lot better. Now, this S can be tricky. So remember, if you've been watching my videos, I talked about this in another. You can just take those S's off the end and have your child read what comes before it first. Rain, rain. And then add the S after. Rain, rains. So like it rains every week. I don't know if it does where you are or not, but it rains a lot. Hopefully, we're kind of in the middle of the drought right now, but we like it to rain a lot. We hope it rains a lot because we need the water. So rains. All right, for this next one, remember two things. The BD, make sure you're reminding your child to check and see, do they hit that ba back first, or do they hit that da daddy's face first, okay? That's really important to make sure your child is getting the correct ba or da sound. They have to learn to check. What do they hit first as they're coming across the word? Second thing, remember that R says R, not ER, IR, and UR say We don't want to confuse kids because if they hear here, burr, when they're spelling and they hear and they know that trick, guess what they're going to put? ER, IR, or UR. They're not just going to put an R because they're going to hear So don't confuse your kids. Make sure this is ba, make sure this is ra. Blend them together. Ba, ra, bra. Okay, then do your A sound and finally glue it onto that last sound. So when you read it, it should sound like this. Ba, ra, bra, aid, bra, aid, braid. Now, will they always have to sound it out? No. Once your child gets really good at sounding out words, they can go faster. If they know it, they can just say it. Some kids are going to learn the words quickly. Others are going to need to sound them out 100 times before they start to recognize them. Sometimes 300 times, sometimes 1,000 times. Sometimes some kids never learn how to remember them. They just need a way to figure it out over and over again. So doesn't matter how severe your child's dyslexia is or learning issue is or isn't. What matters is they all need to go down the same road. They all need to know how to read these words unless they're just phenomenal at visual memory and can just look at it once and remember it. Well, that's amazing if your child can do that. But I'm guessing if you're watching this video that your child struggles and that's why you're looking for ways to help them. Well, here's a way to help them. Make sure they know the tricks. Make sure they know their letter sounds. Make sure they have that good blending technique where you drag this sound into the next and then you can break it. Rain, rains, rains. Or bara, aid, braid. What you don't want to do is separate all the sounds. You don't want to go ba, ra, a, da. You don't want that. Don't do ba, ra, a, da. Your child won't hear it if they have any kind of processing issues. That's too far apart. They need to hear the word as close to the word as they can while they're reading it. So if you can go braid, braid, and you might need to do it 3 or 4 times so they can hear it. Braid, braid. And then talk about what word they just said. Make sure they hear the word they said. Braid, like you can braid your hair, right? Braid. All right, let's try this one. Here's the A and I at the very beginning. That's our vowel combination, so that's also our glue. So glue it right onto that last sound. Remember, don't stop in the middle. Don't say a-m. Say aim. Do you hear how I'm just gluing it on? That's what you need to do. Aim. Like aim for the stars, right? Aim at your target, like aim to look at and set your sights on. Aim. All right, what about this one? Here's our first sound. Here's our glue. Here's our final sound. Ready? Ta-ale. 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 Do you hear how we're putting it together? Tail. Tail. Like a dog has a tail, or the dog might wag its tail. Tail. All right, how about this one? We're gonna start with this sound. This is our glue, and look, these two are another trick. And if you don't know what they say, you'll get it tricked. So make sure you know, make sure your child knows T and the H either say the train is coming, or shoo, I thought the train was coming. You know, so when you see that T pointing past the H, that's because they're playing on the railroad tracks and T goes the train is coming, or shoo, I thought the train was coming, okay? So when you see TH together, that's another trick. You have to know what they say. Try it one way, try it the other way. Usually if you say the, you can hear it. But if you don't, try it the other way. See if it's soft. So here we go. Faith. 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 So try it a little softer. Faith. Ah, I recognize that word. Now this is easier for English speakers because we have already heard the words, we are familiar with the words, unless you're not. And if you're not, because maybe you don't have a good vocabulary or maybe you're new to English and you don't know those words yet, it's a lot harder to know if you're saying the right word. But if you're someone who's heard these words before, usually even if you hear faith, you'll go, oh, faith. Excuse me. So faith, to put your belief in something or someone, right? You have faith that they can do it. You have faith that God exists, whatever your faith is. So there you go, guys. Remember, A and the I say A when they're together, and your child needs to know that. And if they don't know that, they're probably getting tricked every time they run across it. So make sure that you remember A and the I say A. And whenever you're reading, say A when you see that combination. Hope that helps, guys. Hope that blesses you. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope to see you again soon.